Twas the night before the Fall Classic, and it was Media Day at the Rogers Center. CP24's Beatrice Vaisman, she's been talking to Jays players, the manager, and even the Prime Minister. We're going to hear from them coming up.
And getting a ticket to the hottest event in town, CP24's Art Zakarian continues our live coverage outside Rogers Center, talking to fans who'll be there in person or at a watch party.
Bail reform, the big topic in Brampton after the fatal shooting of a woman in what police are saying was the result of intimate partner violence. The suspect out on bail at the time. Crime analyst Steve Ryan continues our coverage.
This is live. CJ Lou, welcome to Live at 5. We are just one sleep away from the start of the World Series in Toronto.
The Blue Jays have home field advantage. Game 1 is set for tomorrow night at Rogers Center. So the Jays, they're returning to the Fall Classic for the first time in more than 3 decades. This is after beating the Mariners in Game 7 of the ALCS. They're going to face the LA Dodgers, who are coming off a 4-game sweep of the Milwaukee Brewers in the NLCS. Jays manager John Schneider spoke today about the buzz that is building ahead of the game.
For me, it's really special. Managing the rookie ball Gulf Coast League team and playing 10:30 games on a Saturday at the complex is a far cry from this, right? But I think you think about the work that you've done, the people you've met, the adjustments you've made. This was always the end goal, right, with this organization. Did I think that it would happen? Probably not, because of how this game works and how there's a lot of movement to this job. So I'm really excited about this.
22-year-old rookie Trey Yesavage will start Game 1 of the World Series. He started 3 times this postseason with 2 wins and a loss. In his last start, Yesavage finished with the win, striking out 7, allowing just 2 runs over 5.2 innings. He'll be up against Dodgers ace Blake Snell. In his last start, Snell went 8 innings with 1 hit, no walks, and 10 strikeouts.
Pretty much called me into his office, said they have faith in me to run me out there in the first game, and I was fired up. Got up, hugged him, hugged Pete. I was very excited.
And Prime Minister Mark Carney also dropped by Rogers Center this afternoon, speaking with Jays manager John Schneider, along with team president Mark Shapiro and GM Ross Atkins.
I made my prediction this morning alongside Premier Ford. Independently, we both predicted Jays in 6. So I'm sorry, John. Jays in 6. This is going to be an I mean, it's like the country is so pumped. I think the world is pumped for this series. You see huge contingent from Japan, Sugoi, Gambate, Kudasai, but you're not going to win. Sorry. And this looks fantastic.
Let's go live to CP24's Beatrice Vaisman, who spoke to the Jays today on how they're feeling. And Beatrice, it is the World Series Media Day. You have been meeting everyone possible.
Yeah, I told Bakari I was talking to anyone who would listen today, CJ. I mean, this is what Media Day is all about. It's a chance for us to talk to these guys, to talk to their coaches, and to hear about how they're preparing, how they're feeling on the eve of the World Series. They're right here on the field here at the Dome. I'll show you what's going on here. We're watching batting practice. We're watching some of the guys practicing throwing to each other, doing some of the drills here. Guys like Kiner Falefa, David Schneider, Bo Bichette, Nathan Lucas, Dalton Varsho, all of them are out here on the field. Of course, in just over 24 hours plus 3, we're going to be seeing these guys doing this for real. They're going to be here on the turf, on the diamond here at the Dome, taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I can tell you, based on all of my conversations with the guys today, as CJ and Bakari, the moment is not lost on them. They all understand the magnitude of being in the World Series. And by the way, today is 32 years since Joe Carter touched them all. So that also, you know, there's meaning behind that. For all of these guys, they've dreamt of this day. They were little boys playing in their backyards, playing catch with their dad or their coach or their friends, imagining what it would be like to be in the World Series. And so here they are. They've made it. They've taken down the Yankees. They've taken down the Mariners. They finished as the top seed in the American League. And now they're ready to take on the Dodgers on the grandest stage of them all. The slogan this season, want it all. These guys want it all. It's emblazoned on all the screens here inside the dome, the World Series logo here with a golden Blue Jay. And it all comes down to this. This is what they've worked so hard this season to do. I spoke to Vladdy Guerrero Jr. about that photo that's been circulating on social media. The little boy, 3 or 4 years old, 3 or 4-year-old Vladdy Guerrero Jr. in his Expos jersey, because his dad, of course, was a Montreal Expo, clutching the hat. I said, what would you say to that little boy in the picture? You're going to hear his answer, and you're going to hear from Bo Bichette as well, who's been sitting on the sidelines for this postseason with an injury, telling me he feels good enough to be back in the lineup tomorrow if manager John Schneider will have him. Listen. We've been seeing the picture of you as a little boy holding, the Expos hat in your jersey with your father. What do you say to that little boy who had such big dreams back then?
I don't know, man. You made it, but to me, it's like the job is not finished. We try to win it all, and we're trying to win this series.
I definitely wanted to be out there, and I wanted to feel like I was contributing on the field. But in terms of hard to watch, I'm not sure. I mean, I love this team. I love my teammates. So I mean, just to watch them accomplish something so incredibly special, I don't think hard is the word.
And so really, I mean, this is really a momentous occasion. And part of the reality is these guys have done this all together as a team. The crews were out here working as a team earlier this afternoon as well. They were preparing the turf. They were preparing the dirt, getting the mound ready, getting home plate ready so that this stadium looks absolutely perfect tomorrow when first pitch happens just after 8 o'clock against the Los Angeles Dodgers. So the guys are out here working out their final kinks, getting the final workouts in before tomorrow, a moment that all of these guys have worked towards, have dreamt about. For some of them, it's already been a reality, like George Springer. For others, it's about redemption. I talked to Dalton Varsho, his dad also a Major League Baseball player. His dad made it to a Game 7, lost, did not make it to the World Series. Dalton Varsho said his dad cried when Dalton made it in as a Blue Jay, and now he's able to live out his dad's dreams right here at the Dome. It's special. Vladdy saying he called his mom. She said she's going to love him either way. And guess what? Toronto will love Vladdy Guerrero Jr. and the Blue Jays either way as well. They'll love him even more if the Jays come out on top here in the World Series. Back to you.
Okay, reporting live from the field inside Rogers Center, CP24's Beatrice Baseman. Well, excitement's building in the city as the Blue Jays faithful, they get ready to watch their team compete for baseball's biggest prize.
And for more on how the fans are feeling, let's go live to CP24's Arda Zakarian. Arda, just one more sleep. Can the fans even contain their excitement right now?
Can you believe it? It's almost like it's Christmas morning tomorrow. So, when we talk about this being Canada's team, it truly is. I've met fans here. I'm in the J Shop, by the way, which is just connected to the Rogers Center. I've met fans here from Montreal, from Niagara, from Vancouver, and just a short time I've been here. They're all Jays fans, and this is something that really connects our country together. With me right now is Chris. Chris, you're shopping, and tell me about this moment for you. One sleep away.
Oh, it is one sleep away. I can't wait. Go Blue Jays, go. And it's one more night, one more sleep, and we're gonna win it all. We're gonna win it.
You weren't alive. I'm giving your age away a little bit, but you weren't alive when you weren't born yet, I should say. Born. You weren't born yet when we won in 92 and 93. I'm sure you've heard stories about that time and what a fandemonium it was. Oh, yeah. What is it like to live it now?
Oh, it's just amazing. It's an amazing feeling. As I said, I wasn't born, but I wish I was alive in 92, but I can't wait. I just can't wait for tomorrow, and we're going to beat the Dodgers.
Did you try to get tickets?
Oh, yes.
That's what happened. Tell me.
I wasn't lucky.
What number were you? Do you remember?
I was like 230,000. Yeah.
Wow, I was 80,000. So
80,000?
I did a little better than you, but guess what? Neither of us have tickets to show for it.
I know. But I'll be at home with my girlfriend, and we're going to support the Blue Jays all the way.
Cheering them on with the best crowd. Thank you so much for this, Chris. I appreciate it. Wait, before you leave, I have to ask, what are you buying today?
I'm going to buy a hat. So I don't know if it's snapback or the low profile one, but yeah.
World Series.
World Series on it. Yeah. Right there.
Okay, show us. There you go.
Right there.
A still shot. Thank you so much for this, Chris. I appreciate it. So this store is actually filled with so many fans here, young and old, and mothers and fathers. I even met a guy who is from the States. He's actually a Yankees hat. He was wearing a Yankees cap. I said, "What are you doing wearing that hat? Take it off." He said, "Well, my family are Blue Jays fans, and I'm a Yankees fan because I'm American, but I'm buying things for them." So that's really sweet. Thank you so much, Yankees fan, for doing that for your family. But it is an incredible time to be here in this city when this moment arises. One more sleep. We cannot wait. Back to you.
Yeah, you definitely have to try to get your hands on that World Series merch. I mean, this isn't every day, so absolutely. Thanks, Arda.
Yeah.
Balls and 2 strikes on it. Here's the pitch on the way. A swing and a belt. Left field. Way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
He knew when he hit it.
October 23rd, and this epic call from Tom Sheik may stand out in the minds of some Blue Jays fan. It was on this day in 1993, 32 years ago, that the team repeated as World Series champions. Joe Carter setting the city into a frenzy with a 3-run homer on 2 and 1 out on the bottom of the 9th on Game 6 against the Phillies as the Jays captured their 2nd straight championship.
With that energy, it's 11 degrees. Let's check on the roads with CP24 traffic specialist. I mean, I'm just saying, dude, like, are the bases loaded? I'm looking at that.
The bases are loaded and nobody's getting anywhere. You know, it's unless there's a line drive, nothing's really going to be happening for people on the major routes. A lot of problems to deal with as well, Bakari. Just taking a look at the situation that has been there with us since the early afternoon. So this is the northbound lanes of the 404. Just as you make your way through Steele, still the 2 right lanes blocked with this ongoing long-standing collision. And then if you're on the 401, light rain coming down and adding to the rain, we're dealing with a stalled vehicle mainly off to the side. It's actually a collision, not a stall, and some debris is in the left lane, so drivers avoiding it. Fire hasn't arrived, but they are en route. Once they do, they will block that lane. It's busy and backed up from before Dixie, and looks like if your travels do take you towards the QEW Niagara bound, just as you head through Dixie, we are dealing with another collision, this one blocking that left lane as well as the left shoulder. Outside of camera view, more problems. Southbound 400, just south of King Road. It's the HOV and left lane blocked with a collision where vehicles spun out. I'll send it back to you both.
This CP24 traffic report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Enjoy the journey with a stress-free commute.
It's 5:13, 11 degrees. This is Live at 5.
Well, up next, court documents reveal that the suspect in the shooting death of a young mother in Brampton Tuesday was out on bail after he was charged in connection with an incident where a gun was fired near the woman.
Brampton's mayor is calling for urgent action on bail reform in the wake of a recent violence in the city.
That includes the killing of a mother of 4 by someone out on bail, allegedly. Let's go live to CP24's crime analyst, Steve Ryle, for more. Okay, so Steve, set this up for us.
This 29-year-old mom of 4 was killed, shot and killed, while she met with her ex-common-law in the parking lot here of this Brampton mall. There's a memorial behind me, and people are really grieving as a result of what has happened here just 2 days ago. This guy was on bail at the time, Bakari. He was on bail for serious offenses, firearm offenses here in Brampton, and had he not been released, no doubt this woman would be alive today, and she'd be there with her 4 kids.
Terribly sad in the situation. Now, the Liberals did announce today some changes they would like to make to bail reform. How could that possibly change things?
Anytime you're talking about strengthening laws that are going to protect the community, protect the police. It's always welcome. But let's not be fooled. Our bail conditions right now are good. Primary grounds, secondary grounds, and tertiary grounds. Primary grounds, a person can be detained in custody to ensure their attendance in court. Not always happens. Secondary grounds, the seriousness of the offense. Tertiary grounds would be if this person was released, what would the general public think? Would it bring the administration of justice into disrepute? So I'd suggest that this guy could have been held in custody on secondary grounds, being the seriousness of the offense, firearm offenses, and the tertiary grounds. If we release this person on these serious gun charges, what would the public think? Well, the public are outraged, and they've been outraged for a very long time. So new bail is welcome, but we've got bail conditions right now that just need to be applied. And one of the big reasons I'm hearing why people aren't being held in custody is because the provincial detention centers are over capacity. That's a provincial problem. So the feds set the laws, the province enforces them with the justice of the peace and with their detention centers. Now, we did hear from Mayor Brown earlier on today as well with regards to bail, and here's what he said. Let's have a listen, and then we'll get back to our conversation.
This is a step in the right direction. It shows that Ottawa is finally listening to cities like Brampton and recognizing the urgent need to protect victims and communities from repeat violent offenders. I hope that this legislation is passed swiftly, that there are no delays or procedural games. This legislation needs to be passed, not just today, but frankly, yesterday.
Okay, so again, with that, Steve, we have to talk about this argument and, other, I guess, information that we're getting about this alleged suspect, Anthony DeShepper, that there was a bail decision in November, but another note for bail granted for, what was this, $12,000 in February, so months after his initial arrest. Again, Steve, what are you saying? What are you thinking is the actual problem here, the disconnect?
The overcapacity of our detention centers is a big part of the problem. The legislation already exists as it stands right now, as we talked about primary grounds, secondary grounds, tertiary grounds. I am hearing from many people that are in the judicial system, that are employed in that system, that one of the big reasons why people are being released is because of the overcapacity in the detention centers. So again, seriousness of the offense is huge, and the feds improving the bail system will certainly be welcome. But we have a good bail system as it is. It needs to be enforced, and if we don't address the overcapacity in the jails, we're going to be right back to square one all over again. So we need to do both. Enforce bail, apply the bail properly, and have a place to put these guys when they're charged with these serious crimes to protect the public. Back to you guys.
Now, Steve Ryan reporting live in Brampton. Thank you for breaking this down for us.
It's 5:18, 11 degrees. This is Live at 5.
Coming up, the federal and Ontario governments are putting a total of $3 billion towards a project to build 4 small nuclear reactors in the GTA.
A major announcement and a major investment for Ontario's nuclear program.
Prime Minister Mark Carney and Premier Doug Ford were on hand at the Darlington nuclear facility to announce $3 billion in combined investment for 4 small nuclear plants there. Once the plants are built, it will be enough to power more than 1 million homes. Construction already started earlier this year. It'll be enough to eventually support 3,700 jobs.
We are building 4 small modular reactors, technology that will power homes in Ontario with clean energy. Once built, each new reactor will be able to power 300,000 homes with that clean energy, keeping your lights on and keeping your air clean. This project alone, the first phase of this project, will drive $500 million annually into Ontario's nuclear supply chain.
As work continues, I'm pleased to announce that Ontario is investing up to $1 billion through the Building Ontario Fund to support the construction of these SMRs. And I'm absolutely thrilled that the federal government is stepping up with its own investment of $2 billion. It shows what we can accomplish when Canadians work together across provinces and across party lines.
The project is expected to be finished and online in 2030. It will employ some 18,000 people during construction.
Advocates turned out at Queen's Park today for a rally raising the alarm about unprecedented levels of food insecurity.
They're calling for a freeze on rent, social assistance rates to be raised, and an increase to the minimum wage. So organizers say despite numerous reports showing record levels of food insecurity and food bank use with clear policy recommendations, things are not getting any better, and thousands across the province, they're struggling to make ends meet.
The crowd is here today because we are a city and a province that is in crisis. Here at the food bank, we are serving about 30,000 visits every month. And I can give you all of the data and all the numbers, 1 in 10 Torontonians coming to food banks now, but we wanted to show the people behind those numbers. So today, there are busloads of people coming from food banks across the GTHA, Toronto, Mississauga, Hamilton, to put poverty and hunger on notice. These issues have been gone unrecognized for too long.
Here at the rally to freeze rent and to increase the rates and to increase ODSP. Right now, we know that renters are suffering in the city of Toronto and in the province because of the legislation that happens right here at Queen's Park. And we're here to let Doug Ford and his government know that we're not going to stand for it anymore, and we're standing up to them, and we expect some changes to the legislation.
Other groups at the rally included Justice for Workers, ODSP Action Coalition, Raise the Rates Coalition, and Social Planning Toronto.
Right now it's 5:24, 11 degrees. This is Live at 5.
Air Canada is going to be adding flights out of Billy Bishop Airport. We'll take a look at the airline's expansion plans coming up next. Air Canada has announced a major expansion of its operations at Billy Bishop Airport.
Starting next spring, the airline is going to offer nonstop return service to New York's LaGuardia Airport 4 times a day. There's also going to be 3 daily flights to Boston's Logan Airport, 2 to Chicago's O'Hare, and a daily flight to Dulles in Washington, D.C. There's also going to be 9 daily return flights to Montreal. That's up from 8 currently. And flights to Ottawa, they'll increase from 4 to 6 per day.
For over 2 decades, Jazz has been a cornerstone of Air Canada's regional network. Our relationship is built on mutual respect, shared values, and a relentless commitment to safety and operational excellence. As we take on these new routes, we do so with confidence in our people, our processes, and our aircraft.
We've had a long-standing desire to grow our footprint here. We have a growing segment of brand loyal customers that find this airport appealing. And certainly this has been a long-standing desire to grow our operations here. And today we make it possible in collaboration or partnership with Newport and Ports Toronto.
Billy Bishop Airport is, if you live in Northern Ontario, it's the destination to get medical treatment. If you do business in Northern Ontario, it's the destination where you can get access to the markets and everything else. And now this is going to be the hub through which people travel to the United States, come from the United States, and yes, they will come to watch our championship baseball team, Minister Cho, but so much more. So I want to say thank you to Air Canada. Thank you to all the groups that are part of this.
The start of the transborder services will follow the opening of the U.S. Customs pre-clearance at the island airports that allows passengers to clear U.S. Customs before departure.
It's 5:28, 11 degrees. This is Live at 5.
We are live inside Rogers Centre. Media from around the world have descended here in Toronto for the World Series Media Day. The Prime Minister also stopped by, where we'll hear from the team and fans on how they're feeling the start before the series. Twas the night before the Fall Classic, and it was Media Day at Rogers Centre. Here's a live look inside for you. CP24's Beatrice Baseman has been talking to Jays players, the manager, and even the Prime Minister. We'll hear from all of them coming up.
We both predicted Jays in 6. So I'm sorry, John.
Okay,
Jays in 6.
You just heard it. Prime Minister Mark Carney making his World Series prediction, picking the Jays to win their first championship since 1993.
Bail reform, the big topic in Brampton after the fatal shooting of a woman in what police are saying was the result of intimate partner violence. The suspect out on bail at the time. Crime analyst Steve Ryan continues our coverage.
This is Live at 5.
Good evening, I'm Sejal Liu.
I'm Trey Yesavage. Welcome to Live at 5. We are one sleep away from the start of the World Series right here in Toronto.
The Blue Jays have home field advantage, and Game 1 is set for tomorrow night at Rogers Centre. The Jays are returning to the Fall Classic for the first time in more than 3 decades. After beating the Mariners in Game 7 of the ALCS, they will face the LA Dodgers, who are coming off a 4-game sweep of the Milwaukee Brewers in the NLCS. And here's a live look inside Rogers Centre for you this hour. Want it all, those words plastered everywhere. Jays manager John Schneider spoke today about the buzz in the building ahead of the big game.
I think there's a lot of firsts for a lot of these guys, myself included, staff included, so I want them to enjoy it. Again, I think that players are going to feel certain things that they haven't felt before, right? Once you get that initial kind of shock and awe off you, I think that this team is really good about focusing on what they need to do. So we'll see. Again, I'm going to take a few seconds to enjoy it. I'm sure they will. And then when you get into compete mode, hopefully it slows down a little bit. But it is going to be a pretty electric atmosphere here tomorrow.
A 22-year-old rookie, Trey Yesavage, is going to start Game 1 of the World Series. He started 3 times this postseason with 2 wins and a loss. In his last start, Yesavage finished with the win, striking out 7 and allowing just 2 runs over 5.2 innings. He's going to be up against Dodgers ace Blake Snell. In his last start, Snell went 8 innings with 1 hit, no walks, and 10 strikeouts.
I've been able to go through this and handle it as diligently as possible, with this being my rookie season and having these high-pressure games. I try to treat it as if it's not as high pressure as it is mentally, but I know it's there. So I think I've just developed it over time.
Prime Minister Mark Carney also dropped by Rogers Centre this afternoon and spoke with Jays manager John Schneider, along with team president Mark Shapiro and GM Ross Atkins.
Well, you know what? I think he's afraid. I think he's afraid to make a bet. He doesn't like to lose. He hasn't called. He hasn't returned my call yet on the bet, so I'm ready. We're ready to make a bet with the U.S., and we're going to be back in the Jays anyway.
Our guys don't need to have anything said to them, honestly. They know their jobs. They know what they have to do. They need to just be themselves. Prime Minister welcome them here and, welcome them to this stage, and obviously tell them that we're proud to help lift Canadian spirits and give people something to cheer about.
Right now, let's go live to CP24's Beatrice Vaisman, who spoke to the Jays today about how they're feeling. Also, we heard Schneider announce Yesavage for starting Game 1, right? He said that there's going to be the announcement as to who's going to start Game 2 sometime this afternoon. Did you get the scoop?
I did not get the scoop, Akari. We don't know at this point yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kevin Gossman, who seemed pretty bummed out that he didn't get the start for Game 1. But he said, hey, that was almost par for the course when he went into Game 7 against the Mariners. I'll show you what's happening behind me now, because we've got a vantage point of batting practice. Some of the Jays still out here. They're really going to start going now. They've moved us off the field so they can properly have the space on the entire field and hit the way the Blue Jays like to hit, hard and fast and far without being worried about our safety down there. So that's why we've moved. But when I talked to Mark Shapiro, the GM and president of the Blue Jays, and you heard him there talking about putting smiles on Canadians' faces, he talked about the memories that sports create and the moments like George Springer's massive 3-run homer in Game 7. Those are moments, he says, people remember for generations, not just for 5 years, not just for 10 years, but for 32 years. Case in point, the Joe Carter touch 'em all moment, 32 years today, and here we are still talking about it and remembering it so vividly. And so that's why he got into baseball. That's why so many of these guys got into it as well. These were once young boys playing catch in their backyards with their siblings, with their parents, with their coaches, who dreamed of what it would be like to compete in the World Series. Those dreams are now coming true. Those young boys are now young men, many of them here playing on the Blue Jays, including 22-year-old starter Trey Yesavage, who's only had a handful of starts in the major leagues, but he's going to be getting the start on the grandest stage of them all tomorrow night right here on the bump for the Blue Jays when they face off against the Dodgers in Game 1. So it's just a fantastic opportunity for him, and the moment's not lost on any of the players I spoke to. I mean, George Springer, I asked him, how are you going to top that Springer dinger? And he says, you just got to go out there and try. Every time you just got to try. You're doing it for yourself, for your family, for the fans, for the city, and really for the country as well. Yes, they're the Toronto Blue Jays, but as the only team in this country, they really are Canada's team. For others, it's about redemption for family members who didn't make it to the World Series, like Dalton Varsho's dad. So listen to a piece of my conversation with George Springer and Dalton Varsho as well.
These are moments I remember when I was told early in my career, enjoy the moments, have fun, embrace them. You don't ever know if you're going to have a chance to, be in this environment ever again. So enjoy it.
Because it's going to be an awesome experience, and obviously you don't get this very many times in your life. And honestly, I kind of feel for my dad, because obviously he got to this point where he got to Game 7 in the championship series and lost. And so obviously for him, I think I'm going to enjoy it for him as well.
What has that conversation been like with your dad? What did he say to you when you made it?
He was so emotional. He cried. John Morosi actually asked me, he goes, hey, what is your dad going to do if you guys do win it? And I was like, he's probably going to cry. But he was very emotional, but it was one of those coolest things where it's like, wow, I kind of fulfilled something that he wasn't able to kind of do himself.
Of course, Daddy Varsho is going to be here in the stands watching his son in the World Series. Guys like George Springer, they know what it's like. They know that the pressure's like. He's been in the World Series before. Guys like Max Scherzer has 2 World Series championships under his belt, but he's hoping for a 3rd. And all these guys know that they're part of something special. The camaraderie here amongst the Toronto Blue Jays, the brotherhood, and certainly the fans having so much fun watching these guys thrive. So here we are. The countdown is on. Just 26 hours or so from now. First pitch is going to be thrown out right here at the Dome, making history once again. These guys, they want it all, and they're ready. Back to you.
Absolutely. Waiting 32 years for this moment. Thanks so much, Beatrice, reporting live inside Rogers Center. Now, speaking through an interpreter today, Dodgers designated hitter and pitcher Shohei Ohtani spoke on the meetings he had with the Jays while he was a free agent in 2023.
I really had a wonderful time getting to know them as an entire organization, and the impression that I got is they were very top class, awesome people. And so in that circumstance that we get to play against them, against a superb organization, is something I'm really looking forward to.
And excitement's building in the city as the Blue Jays faithful get ready to watch their team compete for baseball's biggest prize.
And for more on how fans are feeling, let's go live to CP24's Artis Zakarian. World Series merch is flying off the shelves.
It certainly is flying off the shelf. Do you remember the black hats that said World Series on them? Well, you can't find them anymore here at the Jays shop, but tomorrow you can find those hats. Once again, they're going to stock up. But in the meantime, these blue hats are getting to be sold out, so you can see everybody's trying to grab them. There was one person who was just shoving them into her bag. I said, what is all this for? She goes, my work. She works somewhere. They're all Blue Jays fans, so she's taking a whole collection out to them. Let me see if I can get someone to tell me about their excitement. No? Okay. So I had a little bit of bad luck asking people around. Let me see if I can ask this group here. Can I ask you guys about, I know you work here, but can I ask you guys about your excitement for tomorrow?
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
Okay, hold on. Tell me more. Tell me how you're feeling. It's one sleep away.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. I was at Game 6. Unfortunately, couldn't get a ticket for game 1 or 2, but we'll be watching it. I moved over here 6 years ago, so first time I've ever been around the World Series before, so really looking forward to it. Yeah, there's a good buzz around the city. It's really exciting, yeah.
Where did you move from?
From Ireland.
And so did you become a Blue Jays fan when you moved here 6 years ago, or were you already?
No. When I came here, just Blue Jays, Raptors. The Leafs, unfortunately, have let us down a few times, so no, looking forward to it now. There's good buzz around it, so.
Amazing. And what was it like to be there for Game 6?
Yeah, it was incredible. Just the postseason is just so much different to regular season, I guess, the buzz around it. So I was very, very fortunate to be there and to get the win as well. So, yeah.
What is it like for you to be here in the city and even in this store amongst all Jays fans?
Yeah, it's incredible. Great buzz around the place. World Series back in Ireland, hearing about that, such a big thing. So, yeah, to be in the city when it's on is incredible.
So back home in Ireland, people are talking about it too?
Well, yeah, they're seeing my Instagram stories and seeing me at the game, so they're very excited for it as well. So, yeah.
What happened with game 1 and 2? Why couldn't you get tickets? What number were you in line?
Oh, I don't know. I just got a ticket last minute on one of the recent.
No, I mean for game 1 and 2.
Game 1?
For World Series.
Oh, I was like 12,000 in line, so I thought I had a chance because I heard some people were at 200,000. And no, when I got there, it was like 500 level, and it was, I think it was like $4,000 for a ticket or something at that stage. So I was like, can't justify that. So I thought I had a chance, but no.
12,000. I think that's the best I've heard of someone's place in line. Well, thank you so much. Nice to meet you. Appreciate it. So go Jays. That's right. So the merchandise is, as I said, flying off the shelf. Another Go Jays right there. It's really exciting to be in this city, to see something that unites so many people. When we talk about this being Canada's team, it certainly is. He was from Ireland, so even like internationally, people love it. And so we've been talking to people from Vancouver, from Niagara, from Montreal. Even French Canadians are in love with this team, as we all are waiting for tomorrow. And I heard one of the staff members say, when I said, oh, the World Series one, the black hat is sold out, he said, yeah, but the one with the champs is coming up soon. So nice foreshadowing there of what's going to happen.
Hey,
back to you guys in the studio.
Arda, speaking of all that merch, you know how you talked to someone earlier who said that they were bringing back a bunch of swag for their coworkers? CJ.
Yes. We got some.
We
got some here, and it's the one that says
Tell me your order.
World Series. It's hard to get your hands on one of these, but I think I want the World Series.
You can't get that.
Well, CJ just got it.
So
actually, our boss James tossed it over to CJ. Are you going to give it back, or are you going to keep it?
I don't know. On air, it's mine. On air, it's mine. I've already worn it, so I don't know. You'll have to
tell James. He's not watching anyway.
All right, CP24's Arda Zakaria. Thanks a lot. Well, the city's going to be hosting free viewing parties at Nathan Phillips Square.
And Jays fans who didn't get their hands on World Series tickets can still be a part of the crowd. The games will be shown on a giant screen, and there will be a Jays trivia and giveaways in between the innings.
And CP24 Breakfast spoke with Mayor Olivia Chow about how the city's getting ready for Friday night, especially when it comes to managing traffic congestion.
We have very fancy traffic lights. There's people monitoring, because we have cameras monitoring that would adjust the timing of the traffic lights to make sure traffic moves smoothly. You're going to see traffic agent directing traffic, so no one is blocking the blocks, the intersection. And we have a command center. We have Toronto police, fire, transportation, economic development, all of them coming together. You see, we have practice.
The watch party at Nathan Phillips Square will get underway 8 o'clock Friday night.
Well, a fire at an Etobicoke waste transfer station. It's now under control, but crews had to stay on scene for another 12 to 24 hours.
More than 100 firefighters and 20 fire trucks responded to the scene of the 5-alarm fire on Disco Road around 10:30 last night. That's near Highway 409 and Carlingview Drive. Fortunately, no injuries were reported. Due to air quality issues, some buildings to the south of the site had to be closed while crews got the smoke under control. Toronto Fire says the smoke has now cleared. Crews have also been monitoring nearby Mimico Creek to ensure no runoff from the fire enters the waterway.
It's 5:45, 11 degrees. This is Live at 5.
Up next, court documents reveal the suspect in the shooting death of a young mother in Brampton on Tuesday was out on bail after he was charged in connection with an incident where a gun was fired near the woman.
York Regional Police say that one person's been injured in a shooting. This is outside of a home in Newmarket, which is the second time that the house has been targeted, according to police.
Yeah. They were called to the home on Hewitt Circle in the area of Bathurst Street and Moloch Drive around 4:30 this morning. They say the victim is in the hospital with serious injuries, but they are expected to survive. No arrests have been made so far. Police say shots were also fired at the same home 1 week ago, and no one was injured in that shooting.
A lot of police resources will be in the area, and we continue the investigation. Anyone who has not spoken to police or has any information is being asked to contact us or to call Crime Stoppers anonymously. We do have our IDEN officers on scene and officers canvassing the area. We have a firearms investigation team that has been engaged since last week and are working diligently to identify the suspects and to apprehend them.
Well, Brampton's mayor is calling for urgent action on bail reform. This is in the wake of recent violence in his city.
And that includes the killing of a mother of 4 by someone who was out on bail at the time. And for more on this, let's go live to CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan for more. And Steve, this was already such a concerning case given the violent nature of it and the victim. But now we're learning more about the suspect, that he was out on bail at the time. What more can you tell us about his criminal background?
Yeah, that's right, CJ. He was out on a bail. He was the ex-common law partner of the 29-year-old woman who lost her life as a result of saying to him that she was leaving him. We heard from family that she had told him just a week ago that she was splitting up with him. And sadly, I talk about this often when it comes to intimate partner violence. A woman is in the most danger when she leaves an abusive relationship or a controlling relationship. And that appears to be the case in this situation. So this guy, this 38-year-old who was shot and killed by police out in Niagara region, he was out on bail for multiple firearms offenses when he shot and killed the mom of 4 children just 2 days ago. We heard from Patrick Brown earlier on today as well regarding bail and bail reform, and here's what the mayor said. Let's listen.
The reverse onus introduced today are encouraging. I think it's certainly a positive bill. Obviously, in the details, we'll see the full scope of these changes, and we'll look at this legislation. But based on the description of the legislation, if we had this legislation years ago, there'd be lives that would still be with us.
I spoke with an investigator earlier on today who said to me, had he been kept in custody, that woman would be alive today with her 4 children, and I have to agree. He should have been detained. So back to you guys.
Yeah, that's a hard pill to swallow there. Steve Ryan reporting live in Brampton. Thank you for that. It's 5:50, 11 degrees. This is Live at 5.
And coming up, we're going to have the details of a data breach at Toys R Us in Canada.
There is a setback for the Canadian Union of Postal Workers as the labor disputes with Canada Post continues.
The Canada Industrial Relations Board has ruled against the union's challenge of Ottawa's move to force them back to work last year. So the federal government used Section 107 of the Canada Labour Code to direct the Labour Board to order postal workers back to work during the busy holiday season. CUPW said the move violated its right to strike under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, but the board disagreed. The two sides still haven't reached a new contract, and workers are now participating in rotating strikes.
Now to a data breach at Toys R Us in Canada.
Yeah, the toy store, it told customers that the breach may have compromised their personal information like names, addresses, emails, and phone numbers, but passwords, credit card details, or similar confidential data didn't seem to be affected. Toys R Us says that it learned in July that someone posted information on the deep web they claim to have stolen from the business's databases, and third-party cybersecurity experts confirmed that the records have been copied.
It's 5:54, 11 degrees. This is Live at 5.
And coming up, we're going to tell you which big name is helping to kick off the World Series in Toronto. Pharrell Williams and the gospel choir Voices of Fire, they help kick off the World Series in Toronto.
Some praise and worship before the big game. The singer and producer has been tapped for a pre-game performance tomorrow, along with the gospel group. The show aims to celebrate the unity and togetherness of baseball. Voices of Fire will perform both national anthems ahead of Game 1 and will be joined by local orchestra members for O Canada.
Balls and 2 strikes on it. Here's the pitch on the way. A swing and a belt. Left field. Way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
He knew when he hit it that it had a chance.
October 23rd. This epic call from Tom Cheek, it may stand out in the minds of some Blue Jays fans. It was on this day in 1993, 32 years ago, that the team repeated as World Series champions. Joe Carter sending the city into a frenzy with a 3-run homer with 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 9th of Game 6 against the Phillies as the Jays captured their 2nd straight championship.
And it's just so cool. That was a generation ago. And to imagine in just a few days, another record could be broken, another lifetime of memories with the World Series.
What's your prediction?
Oh, of course. Jays in 6.
Okay, that's the same thing as Prime Minister Carney. With that, it's 5:59, 11 degrees. This is Toronto's Breaking News, CP24.
The start of the World Series in Toronto is just a day away. Thanks so much for joining us. CTV News at 6 is next.